Hey guys! Tonight we slip quietly into a world where lace curtains flutter in drafty hallways, kettle steam curls like dreamy ghosts, and you, yes, you, find yourself living the pleasantly boring yet secretly heroic life of a Victorian housewife. You're standing in a narrow terraced kitchen that smells faintly of coal dust and overboiled cabbage, and you probably won't survive this because, honestly, Victorian housewives function on a level of endurance that makes marathon runners look like people waiting for a bus. So before you get comfortable, take a moment to like the video and subscribe, but only if you genuinely enjoy what I do here. And while you're settling in, tell me where you're listening from and what time it is there. Now, dim the lights, maybe turn on a fan for that soft background hum, and let's ease into tonight's journey together. You're already tired, by the way. Not in a dramatic, I just fought a dragon sense, but in the, I have been awake since 4:45 a.m. because the stove must be coaxed back to life like a grumpy toddler sense. Victorian mornings start with a shuffle, not a stride, and as you poke the embers, you smell yesterday's ashes, flat, warm, and weirdly comforting. You mentally prepare for a day of laundry so heavy it might qualify as weightlifting, except nobody hands out medals for wringing sheets by hand. A mainstream historical fact slips neatly into your morning. Victorian households often consumed nearly half the day just maintaining fire, tending, cleaning, feeding it coal, coaxing it into cooperation. No fire, no heat, no cooking, no warm water. It's your household's beating heart, except it's more demanding and doesn't respect personal space. And there you are, sleeves rolled up, hair pinned back, already sweating lightly even though it's barely dawn. Victorian fatigue is not just physical, it's atmospheric. The air itself feels thick with tasks. You haven't even reached the part of the morning where you scrub floors with homemade soap that smells suspiciously like boiled regret. Yet in this exhaustion, something interesting develops. A quirky tidbit. Some housewives swore that taking 3 slow breaths near an open window in the morning could restore the spirits better than tea. You try it. The breeze is cold enough to slap, but you admit it does feel slightly magical, like a tiny reset button before chaos returns. You move through breakfast prep, your mind running on autopilot. Slice the bread, stir the porridge, remind your half-awake household that yes, life does indeed begin before the sun. You're functioning, but only just. Your feet throb from yesterday's chores, and the day's barely begun. Victorian exhaustion isn't a problem to solve. It's a constant companion, hovering like a well-meaning but annoying friend. Historians still argue whether this steady, low-level tiredness created a cultural acceptance of afternoon rest long before the term afternoon nap became fashionable. Some say it emerged organically. Others claim it was a quiet rebellion against impossible domestic expectations. Right now, you don't care about academic debates. You're too busy trying not to fall asleep standing. Your morning wears on with gentle monotony. And with each chore, you feel that subtle Victorian brand of fatigue settling behind your eyes. The idea of resting isn't a luxury. It's a survival instinct, starting to whisper at the edges of your mind. That whisper will become important later. For now, you grit your teeth, adjust your apron, and push through the relentless rhythm of early-century domestic life.